Once upon a time, the undoubted king of the junior hot hatches was the Renault Clio RS. With its mix of aggressive looks, a hardcore motor, manual gearbox, and great feel, there was nothing to touch it in terms of performance and pure fun. And then, in 2014, things changed. Renault introduced a new Clio RS with more tech inside and out. They swapped the naturally aspirated 2-litre for a 1600 turbo and dropped in a dual-clutch gearbox. It was meant to bring F1-style technology to the everyday drive and to be a showcase of the company's long and very proud motorsport heritage. But it kind of missed the point, because somewhere amongst all that technology, it lost its soul. It was still quick, it was still handy on a racetrack, but it wasn't nearly as much fun or as involving as the previous generation. Let's hope this latest Clio RS will resurrect some of the magic. Available in two flavors, we have the more commuter-friendly Luxe version. If you spot a Clio RS with 18-inch wheels, red calipers and an Akrapovic exhaust, that's the more powerful and more expensive trophy model. Across the range though, the new RS gets quite a few updates, the most noticeable of which are the new style Renault headlights with the C-shaped LEDs, which on the RS have the extra checkered flag style front running lights added to the setup. New front and rear bumpers, a new rear diffuser, different badges, spoiler and sills all add to the impression that this Clio does have a shot at reclaiming the title. It's a superb looking thing with equal measures of style and aggression. The thing is though, so was the old one. In terms of shortcomings, looks wasn't one of them. It was what happened when you were behind the wheel that was the issue. A lot of people were upset that they replaced the screaming, naturally aspirated motor with a more modern, more efficient turbo. Me, I live at altitude, so I'm quite happy with a bit of forced induction. And that's the way things are going, so it was only really a matter of time anyway. And besides, 147 kilowatts and 260 newton meters wasn't really anything to complain about, so that's probably why Renault have decided to not change anything in this version. If that's still not enough, the RS Trophy will smash 162 kilowatts and 280 newton meters through the front wheels. 0 to 100 in our Luxe test car is 6.7 seconds, and it'll go on to reach 230 kilometers an hour. On a more practical level, it's got decent mid-range power too, so while it'll get off the line in a hurry, it's not too bad when it comes to overtaking either. Both models benefit from an electronic diff lock which uses ABS and ESP to manage wheel slippage. Again, like the styling, the handling wasn't the issue. It's always had lots of grip, and because of that diff you could get the power down with no small amount of satisfaction. So all of that remains in here, and the Clio RS is still properly talented. One vital ingredient in any performance car, even tiny ones like this, is an ability to deliver confidence. The Clio RS has a large dose of that ingredient. Chuck it into a series of corners and it will deliver grip and poise and make you want to try harder the next time. And now we come to the part where we have to talk about the bits that were largely responsible for the previous Clio RS being not good. It wasn't so much that they swapped the manual for a dual clutch. The issue was more that it wasn't a very impressive dual clutch. The bad news is that the gearbox in this Clio RS is exactly the same. The good news is that Renault have worked on the software, and that has made a difference. Renault will happily tell you that in race mode, the shift times are now quicker than a Lamborghini Gallardo, just 120 milliseconds. And while it is impressively fast, what makes the setup better than the old one is that the exhaust will occasionally deliver a percussive crack on gear shifts, delivering that little bit of involvement that was missing. The RS Trophy gets an exhaust made by Akrapovic, which should make things even better. For me, one of the most disappointing things in the previous Clio RS was the steering, which lacked any sort of anything enjoyable. But Renault have worked on that too, and now in RS mode it weights up nicely. It's a lot sharper, and together with the power and the grip, it's helped make this package so much better. The steering wheel itself has been reworked as well. It feels chunkier, and the shift panels have been repositioned and now have shorter travel. The whole setup is a noticeable improvement over the old one, and the RS now delivers the kind of drive you expect from Renault Sport. The interior of the RS has had a mild makeover. The R-Link system with sat-nav is included in a setup that is quite sporty, with red stitching and red accents, and the kind of displays that you really shouldn't be concentrating on while driving with any sort of intent. The bucket seats are built for more comfort, so while they offer good support, they don't feel like they'd be an unpleasant place in which to spend a lot of time. I was going to say that the Renault Clio RS is back, but in performance terms, it was always a good junior hot hatch. But now, thanks to tweaks to the steering and the gearbox and a new exhaust system, Renault have revived some much-needed driving involvement in the Clio RS. At 400,000 Rand, it is the most expensive option you can buy in its class, but along with a great drive, that money also buys you arguably a bit more style and sophistication. The updated Renault Clio RS is mechanically identical to the previous iteration. That means a 1600 turbo motor with 147 kilowatts and 260 newton meters and a 6-speed dual-clutch gearbox. While it's as quick and grippy as it ever was, the adjustments to the gearbox software and steering means it's now more involving and more fun. It also delivers more style than its competition, but there is a premium to be paid.